YouTube. This is Charles Powell. I believe I'm streaming from my main channel, so yeah, Charles A. Powell here. This is very different than what I normally go on YouTube about, so just bear with me. But this is something I like to talk about a lot. This is something that's very near and dear to me, and especially with this past week and how it's been for me, I think it's just very important that I address this. So listen up. I don't know who's going to see this, who needs to hear this, whatever, but whoever this ends up reaching, I really hope it helps them. I really hope that they get something out of this, and that I just make some kind of a difference with this. So I'm going to close my window so that I don't make a ton of noise. Tonight's topic, or this morning's topic, it's 12:41 where I'm at the time of the stream. Today's topic is mental health, and how do I say this, man? I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. I'm doing this all on the fly. This is completely unrehearsed. I do know what I want to talk about, but I guess it's going to be kind of a challenge. But I want to talk mental health. I want to talk about my run-ins, plural, and the steps I'm taking to better my mental health, and maybe offer up some words of encouragement to anyone who may be struggling themselves. So I'll begin by saying this week, and a lot of my friends who I've talked about with this on Instagram, real life, whatever, this week has been a very challenging week for me, mentally, spiritually in a way. It's just, I'm burnt out. I've spread myself completely thin with school, with my work, and other things in my life that I was once very excited about on a personal level. So I guess I'll preface by saying there was a thing, and I'm not going to go into specifics only because, who needs to know? But earlier this year, in about February, middle of February, I'm checking the gram, and I'm checking the DMs on the gram, and I got a message, and it was a very good-looking message. And from the onset, it looked like I finally might be getting something good in my life, in that area. And after that, I spent some time trying to pursue it, and it actually started out mildly successful as, the beginning of this whole thing. I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible, so I'm sorry if I pause. It's just, it's kind of weird to keep this thing vague, but for the sake of privacy, I want to keep it vague. So this thing I have going for me in my life, it's, the kickoff is very well, and so I and the other person involved in this thing, trying to make more and more and more happen with this good thing. And it seems like it's going swimmingly well, a whole list of things lined up related to this thing. And the time passed, and it did not dissipate at all up until around earlier this week, when suddenly things started to fall quiet. Things started to things looked like they were starting to go left, and obviously with a matter like this, I knew that I wasn't going to handle it the same way that I would have when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I probably would have been way overthinking it, getting way ahead of myself. Obviously, with this scenario now, at the age of 21, Yes, I was overthinking. Yes, I definitely was freaked out, a little bit mortified. But I mean, from a reasonable standpoint, so I'm like, people in their 20s don't get worried about the same stuff that, they'd be worried about in their teens. Or so I think, at least, hopefully. And so I kind of tried brushing the silence and all the other off signs. I just brushed it all off. I'm like, oh yeah, it's no big deal, this will probably be resolved by morning or whenever else. Well, the silence kind of persisted, and I was kind of like, I was getting scared, and really, it was messing with my self-esteem bad. And you have to understand that I grew up with not the greatest self-esteem. I'm not going to go on a big tangent about that, but I grew up with not the greatest self-esteem. Always selling myself short, always pessimistic. It was crazy. I'm obviously a little bit better with it now, but it was never easy the whole time at all. So the silence persisted, and then finally, I believe well, before I get to that part, so here I am, just treading water in my pool of worry about this once seemingly good thing in my life. And I mean, it kept me up so many nights this week. Basically every night this week, every weekday night, I guess weeknight's the word. Every weeknight this past week, I just would not be able to sleep at night because I'd be up thinking about like, oh, what if this good thing is negated by this or by that or by the third or whatever, and it was freaking me out, absolutely scaring the piss out of me. And I mean, there wasn't a whole lot that made it better. I like to hit the gym. I don't share that a whole lot on here on YouTube, but I like to go to the gym, and I experimented with taking pre-workout this week. And so we also have to understand that this is March, and around March I'm not in the best headspace mentally every March. It's probably seasonal depression, or it could be something else, but I'm erring on the side of it's seasonal depot, I call it. And especially around like right now, my mood tends to swing a lot. And it's not great. I get very down in the dumps. I get very angry. I get very whatever. It's not good. So that, in conjunction with coming off of the pre-workout after the gym, and then add to that, doing school, and then doing work, and doing endless amounts of double shifts. And then add to that the anxiety of this once seemingly good thing in my life that I was trying to pursue. All of that together, it was so bad. Like, my anxiety was through the effing roof, man. Like, I never thought I could see myself get so scared, get so anxious over something like that in my life. And it led to a lot of pacing back and forth, a lot of selling myself short. It led to one can of worms after another. It got so bad, in fact, that because I was so anxious, so nervous, so riveted about everything going on in my life by this point, I was nauseous every day. Like, I remember Thursday morning, I came into work, and here's the thing, I work outside, so I was coughing non-stop throughout the shift, and almost puked because my coughing was so intense, and I was gagging non-stop. It was really, really, really rough. I didn't like an ounce of it, not 1 ounce of it at all. And another sign of how bad it got we get to Thursday afternoon. Right after I got off work, I'm in the parking lot at a Wawa a couple miles north of where I work. And I was just sitting in the parking lot, 30 minutes, give or take, on my truck bed. I think I was watching Noble Diesel and a lot of videos that he posted about men's mental health. I think I later said these words to myself. It went a little something like this. Well, I don't want to die, but I absolutely do not want to live right now. And that was the mindset. And it may sound scary, it may sound grim, but the way that I look at that message, I see a little bit of hope in it. And you may be wondering, Charles, how do you find something that sounds absolutely sick and get any amount of hope from it? Let me explain. So obviously you have the first half of it, I don't want to die. So it's already a good sign that, I want to keep living. I want to thrive. I want to be able to fly like a bird, But then the second half of it sounds a lot more grim. But I absolutely do not want to live right now. Keyword right now. I have a feeling people, if whoever's watching this stream or decides to watch back the stream sometime later, and they get to that saying, they're probably going to cut it off at the I don't want to live part. They probably look at this as a bad message, but I'm telling you right now, this is a message of hope. That I don't want to live right now. You have to really take into account that right now, because I don't want to live right now doesn't mean I want to die. It does not mean that. It means I absolutely want to keep living my life, and I absolutely want to keep thriving, striving to be the best version of myself, as I should. But life sucks right now, and I really don't want to be a part of it. So think of it this way, going to sleep. Obviously, the process of going to sleep, it's a bit of a long, drawn out, do whatever, get ready, get dressed for bed, hygiene, etc., etc. The actual sleep, and I don't understand the science behind this, but the actual sleep feels much quicker than it really is. Now, of course, if you're out getting 3-4 hours of sleep a night, then you're friggin' ridiculous, but on average, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. My sweet spot is 7. But it obviously doesn't feel like I'm sleeping for 7 hours. It feels like I close my eyes and then bam, wake back up. That's what it is. And that's kind of what that I don't want to live right now part is like. It's like, think of it as a fast forward button. I don't want to die, but my life absolutely sucks right now, and I wish that I could press a fast forward button and go right to better days. That's what I'm trying to convey with this message of I don't want to die, but I don't want to live right now. And that's why I view it as a message of hope. And my hope is that you all, the viewers, whoever's watching now, or whoever decides to rewatch this in the future, I hope that you get a message of hope from this. I hope that you were encouraged by this. So I guess back to this seemingly good thing going on in my life. I got a chat from my brother. I'm proud of you and what you've overcome. Continue to overcome. Love you, dude. Thank you so much for that. With this seemingly good thing in my life, as I got more nervous about it, as I just got more tied up in it, as it just continued to scare the piss out of me every single day, especially this week, I was getting to a boiling point. I'm like, I'm ready to boil over. I'm ready to just, whatever I feel like is about to happen, it's not good. So I guess after my little Wawa parking lot situation, I get a text, and I think it was about 5, maybe 5:30, maybe closer to 6 o'clock that evening. And it had to do with this seemingly good thing in my life. And it opened up a whole can of worms. It was not good at all. It was very bad. Some big hidden thing that, I never saw coming, and I bet any of my friends who knew about it, they never saw coming themselves. So I saw the text, and I was very disillusioned. I'm like, oh, so, now, because I already had these plans set up for this seemingly good thing. And the worst part is I paid for them. So I was like, I can't forfeit this now. This came out of my friggin' bank account, I gotta do this. But it's probably gonna feel awkward with what I know now. And, I don't know how I can possibly make this good. So I was pretty pissed off looking at this text. I was like, why in the F did it have to be like this? What was I thinking? What were you thinking? What the hell is going on? So I figured there was going to be some way I was going to handle it, because I obviously wasn't going to handle it by myself. I mean, any time that I try to figure something out all by myself, 9.5 times out of 10, it's gonna go left. So I drove to my friend's house, and we talked about it. We talked about it over Coke Zero and guitars, and it was a nice time. It was nice to talk about this thing that's been so heavily weighing me down and so heavily intimidating me, and then this big can of worms that it opened up. It was nice to share it with a friend of mine, and then one friend turned into multiple, turned into talking to both of my bands about it, and another group of friends. We all talked about it, and I've had similar things like this happen in my life, and this was probably the worst version of it, but I think that because I was, I guess, fast enough to pin it and talk to friends about it, not for attention, but, to talk to somebody about it. I live by the saying that a problem shared is a problem halved. And, I mean, if that ain't the damn truth, I don't know what is. There we go. I don't know if I should have this on. Never mind. Yeah, problem share is a problem halved, and I live by that every day. Like, if there's something that's kind of pissing me off in life, it's something that's bringing me down, it's making me feel bad, I'm going to talk about it with somebody. Who? I don't know. Probably the same aforementioned groups I brought in earlier. My friends, my bands, whatever. And so, yeah. That opportunity to talk with my friends about this, I mean, even going through the worst version of this thing that, I'd ever run across, the fact that I was able to talk about it, it felt like a 50 to 100 pound weight was taken off of me. I guess the reason why I was so afraid to talk about it was, A, people are probably going to make fun, and B, it's going to make me feel bad, make me feel like shit, and, not have any kind of motivation for the next few days. But, having talked about it with my friends, I'm thriving. I mean, with regard to the thing I said on Thursday about, I don't want to die, but I don't want to live right now, literally the next day after that, the very next day after that, spending a little bit more time talking with my friends about this thing, about how this seemingly good thing finally went down in flames. Not long after, I felt this urge, I felt this itch to just want to live, and not just breathe oxygen, not just see the world around me, but absolutely love living and loving life and thriving through all of it. I felt this rush that I thought I was going to get from this once seemingly good thing, but of course, after that once seemingly good thing got derailed, I didn't know what to do. But a problem shared is a problem halved. And because I shared that problem, I cut it in half and lightened the load, and kaboom! I mean, this is the most alive I've felt at any point this past week, and I could not be any more grateful and any more blessed for something like this. I think what I want you guys to take away from something like this is, if you're going through something, anything in your life, talk to anybody about it. Anyone you trust, anyone you love and trust, please reach out to them. You are not alone. You matter. You matter as much as I do. You matter as much as the next person does. This is no black or white. This is no man or woman issue. We are all one and the same. We are all human. We all have moments like I was just talking about. Just never hesitate to reach out to anybody. Your friends, your community, your family, anybody. Reach out. Do not stay silent. You're not alone. Because problem shared is a problem halved. You have problems, you talk about them, it's going to lighten the load. It may sound surreal, but believe me, it's very rewarding. You will be thriving. And I guess I can close out saying, if there is some seemingly good thing in your life, be it anything, be it, a job offer, be it, some kind of an academic situation, a romantic situation, anything else like that, and it feels like a genuine burden, not like, oh, it seems a little bit hard, the going's getting a little rougher than I want it to be, but it's gonna eat you alive and negatively impact you, then that seemingly good thing is not for you. And you should run like hell from it. It's going to be hard. Believe me, when I was met with the option to run like hell from this once seemingly good thing that I thought was going on in my life, and the numbers of cans of worms that opened up. I ran like hell, ran really far away, and initially I was like, I'm going to feel bad, I'm going to feel guilty, I'm going to feel this, that, and the third. I mean, the fact that I'm even opening up to all of YouTube about this is proof that it is way more rewarding than I'll ever think, and couldn't be any more grateful for this kind of an opportunity. So I'm glad that I'm glad to have shared with you guys my experience with mental health, and I hope that whoever watched, I hope you got something out of it. I hope this encouraged you. never hesitate to reach out to your loved ones in times of need. It is way more rewarding than you think. I love every single last one of y'all. Stay blessed. Have an amazing night, or it's 1:05 as I'm finishing this up, so have a good morning, night, day, whatever. Take care. Be well. Be good to each other. And, yeah. God bless you all.